Hello, please. Wolfie for the win here with my first ever episode of Mindgamer Titanfall. For those of you who haven't seen my other videos, I'm a long-time competitive FPS player who enjoys recording high-level play and then narrating it with my thought processes so that viewers like you can learn how to outthink, outmaneuver, and outplay your opponents. So sit down, strap in, and switch on. I've got a special treat for you all today. A truly high-level Titanfall match between two pre-made groups of 6, played about a week after release. As you can see, we're all multiple regenerations in. I'm on a Mumble server with my teammates, so you'll be able to hear our communications throughout the game. We're all ex-Tribes Ascend competitive players, looking for a new game to satisfy our craving for smooth movement and fast gameplay. The game mode is Pilot Hunter on Relic. The objective is to be the first team to get to 50 pilot kills. I decided to run the shotgun on this map because of the abundance of close quarters locations and mobility options. The shotgun is king at close ranges, and lots of buildings means that you can often parkour to approach your target without being spotted.
I think it's lag.
I didn't plan out my burn cards, which was probably a mistake when facing a team of this caliber, but I do notice that I have a reserve ogre available. The only thing that can really kill a properly played Titan is another Titan. So an ogre this early in the game could potentially nab me an easy couple of kills. I call it in. I noticed some problems with my strategy right away. First, the ogre is slow, with only 1 dash per 4 seconds, so if I see a pilot, I'll have some difficulty chasing him down. Second, I have single rockets equipped, because I'm trying to fulfill a regen requirement. They're good, but they're not the rods from God, that is the 40mm cannon. Oh well, I'll make do. As I'm halfway to the other side of the map, I realize that that's the place that they're least likely to be, since no one just sits at their own spawn at the beginning of the game. I decide to turn around and approach the middle map from my own team's side, to meet the enemy head on. I figure most of the fighting is going to be inside the ship right here, and just for fun I decide to go through the small entrance instead of over the bridge. As soon as I get through, I notice an enemy right ahead. Differentiating pilots from grunts is an important skill to learn in Titanfall. I know this guy's a pilot because he shoots at my team's grunt as soon as it gets into vision, and because he maintains a long stream of fire. In contrast, enemy grunts tend to pause a while before firing on acquired targets, and only fire in short bursts. I quickly fire a few rockets in that direction, but the random spread and slow speed means that the guy gets away. I respect his intelligence and decide to look for other targets, because if he's smart, he won't be exposing himself to fire again. I hear a smart pistol discharge, but it's my teammate. I trace the bullets flying at him back to their source, but again, the opponent is long gone by the time my rockets hit. As I step to the other side, I catch a quick glimpse of the enemy. I've paused it right here before that moment. Try and see if you can spot what I saw. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Did you catch it? Here it is again. See that bright flare-up and arcing trajectory of these two lights? It's a cloaked enemy pilot, and what we're seeing is the flare from his jetpacks. Cloaked enemy pilots are almost perfectly invisible to Titans, but you can see their jetpacks glow if you know what to look for. He gets away before my reload finishes, and I waste my time killing some grunts that look like they could have been him. I see my teammates clustered together and engaging enemies inside the ship, so I head that way. Fighting attracts more fighting, so even if this enemy dies, more will definitely show up. Quick, is this guy grunt or pilot? Paused here, you can see a long gun, thin profile, which usually indicates a pilot, but I literally have a split second to make this decision, and I can't notice all those things at once. A better heuristic is this. You notice how he's alone? Grunts and specters tend to spawn and move in groups, whereas pilots often rush ahead of the pack. If you see an enemy alone, assume it's a pilot until you can confirm otherwise. After finishing this guy off, I noticed that the original enemy is still on the minimap, so I turn to see what's up. I catch a glimpse of another cloaked pilot, but I know that I won't be able to catch him, so I don't even bother. What's more troubling are these arc grenades that are hitting me and messing up my vision. There are really only two main reasons why a pilot would throw these offensive arc grenades at you. Either they want to mess up your vision so they can run up and rodeo you, or they want to take down your shield so they can follow up with an anti-Titan weapon. To prevent the former, I unleash a quick barrage of rockets in the direction of the arc grenade. And to prevent the latter, I bring up my vortex shield to catch any projectile. When a second arc grenade hits, I briefly see where it comes from, and I just dash away from that direction while reloading my rockets. Once my vision is restored, I turn back to see if the enemy pilot is trying to follow up with something else. Quick, spot the pilot. 3, 2, 1, go. Did you see him? It was this guy. Main reasons why? He's moving separately from other figures around him, and he's moving fast and makes a quick turn without stopping. After unloading a quick barrage of rockets into him, I'm already looking for other targets. Do you see what I see? This guy. He's alone, he looks kinda thin, and is maintaining sustained fire against a distant target. Probably a pilot. I fire off another barrage, but he gets away. As he does, I hear the very characteristic sound of a smart pistol being fired. I look in that direction and spot an obvious pilot. Running fast, orange face glow, all alone. Unfortunately, I'm reloading right now, but if I dash forward I might be able to punch him to death. Nope. He rounds the corner, and because I know he's faster than I am, I decide not to chase, but instead to circle around and see if I can catch him that way.
How's your Titan doing?
There he is. He's cloaked, but again you can see the flares from his jetpack. My teammate actually kills him before I do. Something takes out my shield, so I immediately dash back and look at my previous position. There's a guy shooting a sidewinder at me up there. I can tell because of the smoke trails, but I know from before that I have a fat chance of hitting him with my rockets while he's in there. Instead, I decide to duck behind the pillar and try to regenerate my shields. I look to my left and see a possible pilot, but he's just a grunt. I turn back to face my attackers, and for some reason one of them gets extra greedy and hops out into the open to try to sidewinder me some more. Not a terribly great decision, and I finish him quickly. Suddenly, an enemy Titan out of nowhere. I was not expecting that, especially this early in the match. I suspect it might be a burn card, probably a reduced build time of some sort. I bring out my vortex shield to try and buy myself some time, but as you can see, I'm already doomed. I have several options right now. I could try to damage this Titan as much as possible with my remaining time, but I don't really think I could get past the shields before I die. Moreover, now that I'm doomed and he's right up in my face, he could very easily initiate an execution attack with a melee. I can't risk that happening, so I eject immediately.
Yeah.
I quickly stim and run for the nearest cover before my opponent can react.
God damn it.
I turn around to catch anyone who might have tried to follow me down, but when no one comes, I peek out to pop a couple of sidewinder shots at the ogre to distract it. I think the sidewinder might be the best anti-Titan weapon. It has more range than the mag launcher, it doesn't require a lock-on like the archer, and you don't have to wait to fire it like you have to do with the charge rifle. You can just quickly pop out of cover, hit an enemy Titan a couple of times to interrupt his shield regen, and then duck back down before he knows what hit him. My teammate says,
The guy coming at you will be, I think.
but that guy already got kicked in the face. I see that the enemy ogre is engaging two of my team's Titans, and my buddy says,
That ogre is low.
so I rush back in to help take it down with my sidewinder. I get a few shots in, but I expose myself too much, and the enemy Titan does the smart thing and focuses on killing me before he's doomed. I take this time to queue up my next burn card and spawn in again with the shotgun. Looking at the minimap, I can see a Titan throwdown is happening inside, so I run in there to see if I can help. As I round the corner, a teammate drops dead in front of me, putting me on alert. If I stay down at ground level when there's Titans dashing about, I'm almost guaranteed to get crushed, so as soon as I can, I stim and climb up the nearest wall. As an infantry, your best defense against Titans is being above them. Titans can't jump, so they have a hard time seeing and hitting enemies on structures that are taller than they are. Instead of helping to engage enemy Titans, I figure it's a better idea to go looking for pilot kills. I wall run out, and I spot a singular enemy run out of the building below me. What do you think? Pilot or grunt? I'm already suspecting pilot, or else I wouldn't ask, but let's make sure. Let's watch him move. Yep, definitely pilot. Grunts just don't fixate on a far point while backpedaling left and right like that.
I dropped my Titan.
One sneaky shotgun blast is all I need.
It's a dumb decision.
I clear the building next to me, reload when I think it's safe, and then... Pilot or grunt? He's alone, he's running, I decide to go for it. Of course, if I had been actually paying attention to my minimap, I would have realized that this guy is actually just a grunt. I have minion detector on, so he's represented by a small orange or red dot. This is why I consider minion detector to be absolutely necessary on all loadouts. Because even though it won't tell you where enemy pilots are, it will tell you where every non-pilot entity is, so you don't go around emptying your magazines at every humanoid you see. By rule of exclusion, Any humanoid figure that you see on the screen but not on the minimap must be a pilot. I turn around to see an enemy Titan beating up on my teammate's Titan, so I decide to help. I do something dumb here. I whip out my Sidewinder and start shooting while still on the ground and out in the open. It would have literally taken 1 second to get to high ground and to safety, but I didn't do it. I take an unnecessary risk here, and I get punished almost immediately.
Yeah, where'd you go? Behind you.
As I pick my final burden card and spawn in for the last time, I notice my Titan is ready to drop.
Come on in.
Now, the choice to drop or not isn't very hard. It's a big robotic murder suit, the killingest thing in a game about killing. There's really only one reason not to drop a Titan, and that is if the enemy team has a lot of Titans and you have none. In that situation, you're likely to lose your Titan very quickly without doing much damage, so it'd be better to hold on to it. Looking at the scoreboard, I see that while the enemy team does have quite a few Titans up, so does my team. Oh, and by the way, I think colored Titan icons means that they are deployed, whereas gray icons means that they are available but not yet deployed. As my Titan falls, I start planning my next move. I catch one of my teammates getting ripped out of his Titan in the underpass below. And I doubt my buddy went down without a fight, so that enemy Titan should be weak. I make it my next target. Oh, and be careful when waiting for Titanfall. If you die now, you might not be able to get back to your Titan before the dome shield runs out, and auto Titans are laughably easy to kill compared to piloted ones. So don't die.
Good shit.
Now I'm in my favorite, the Atlas, and I start unloading on the enemy Titan as soon as I can. He drops the smoke, and now I have to predict which way he's going to go. If he's smart, he'll use the smoke cover to retreat back this way. He's clearly outnumbered and outgunned, and if he tries to run past me or up towards the higher ground, our 4 Titans on this side of the map are going to rip him apart. Knowing this, I expect him to do the safe thing, so I decide to move here to cut him off. For some reason though, he decides to defy my predictions and has moved in further instead. Let's watch his Titan's health bar to see how he fares. Yeah, not well. I see missiles being fired in bursts of 3 up ahead. The only thing in the game with that firing profile are the slaved warheads Titan ordnance, so there must be an enemy Titan up here. He wisely retreats before I can hit him. I catch a glimpse of his leg through the crouch hole, and I briefly consider chasing him through there. Probably a bad idea though. I'll be alone, and if I run into more than I can handle, it's a long, slow retreat back out. As I reload, I scan the surrounding area for infantry. Then my teammate says,
Damn it, I got my Titan.
and I turn around to see him eject from his Titan. Looks like this enemy infantry on the minimap is to blame. His red dot has an upwards pointing arrow above it, which means he's above me, either on the 2nd floor or on the roof of this building here. I quickly dash up, but all I see are the smoke trails left by his Sidewinder. I know where he was, but I can't hit him from down here, and by now he's probably running away or in hiding. If he shows up again, I'll kill him, but that's all up to him.
My damage core out.
Let's play Spot the Pilot again. 3, 2, 1, go.
Fucking kill somebody.
Yep, it's another cloaked pilot, revealed by his jetpack flares. Makes me think, maybe you shouldn't jump so much when you're cloaked around enemy Titans, seeing as how he can get you spotted. I dash up, but once he touches the ground, his jetpack flare disappears. Where will he go? We can't know for sure, but based on what I know about how people tend to behave in threatening situations, I think we can make an educated guess. When you're being shot at by a giant mech, what's your first instinct? To find cover, of course, usually inside the nearest building. There's a couple of likely places for him to run, but he's probably going to go for the first one he sees. He started up here, and he jumped down to here. He's likely to be looking in the direction that he was moving, and if we assume a 90-degree field of view, there's really only one clear choice of cover, this doorway here. If we shoot along the path from where he is now to where he is going, we should be able to get him. Boop. Got him.
I had the wrong weapon out and tried to mag someone to death.
Looks like my team is making a big Titan push into the ship. I can see on the minimap that we're all lined up at the bridge here, and the guys in the front are engaging some enemy Titans inside. Someone says,
Go in there, right?
and I agree to bring up the rear.
I have Titan ready.
Now, it's a good idea to stick with your team, but did I make the best decision here? No. The ship interior is actually pretty cramped, and we already have 3 Titans in there. While friendly fire is off in this game, your teammates can body block you and your shots. A better approach would have been through here. Slow, but less clustery, and with the potential to flank. After a slight hang-up, I dash in and... Holy smokes, that's a lot of Titans. I don't even have to aim against this cluster. I can just go nuts.
Reload.
One of the enemy Titans, though, does something smart. As he's about to die, he dashes forward and drops electric smoke. E-smoke does a ton of damage, but normally it's pretty easy to avoid. Just step away. But in cramped quarters like this, where there's no room to move and the only exit is blocked by 2 of my own Titans, it can do work. Over the course of this battle, this smoke ends up killing 2 of our 4 Titans inside. He gets executed for his bravery, but the damage is already done. As my shields go down, I duck behind a pillar, but when I peek out, I see that there's really only 1 Titan left. I decide to get up in his face before he tries to escape. I know he's low, so I prepare to execute him with the melee key as soon as he gets doomed. Aw, hell no. Normally that would have worked, but he's running nuclear ejection. That's why you see this supernova lens flare coming from his Titan. You can't execute a Titan equipped with nuclear ejection. If you ever see this lens flare, run. I can't go back the way I came because there's a nuke about to go off there, so I have to push forward towards the enemy's side. Unfortunately, there's another Titan there to greet me, and with shields depleted and armor at half, I don't stand a chance. I bring up the vortex shield and back away as fast as I can, firing off my rocket salvo to discourage him from following. Unfortunately, a pilot behind me dooms me with an archer missile. That's okay though. I suspected that I wouldn't come out of this with my Titan intact, and I already have an escape plan. Always have an escape plan. I don't want to inject indoors if I can help it, because I'll just hit the ceiling and then land on the ground where I'm easy prey for those attacking me. There's actually a hole in this ceiling that I can eject through if I line myself upright, but I forget exactly where it was, and I'm far enough away from my enemy that I can take the time to run outside and eject there. So I do that.
I killed the guy that was on you.
Reactor damage sustained. Eject, eject, eject.
I hang on to the wall here and scope out that auto Titan sitting pretty in its little dome shield. It's unguarded. Maybe I could kill it? I don't think it'd be worth it. Even an auto Titan can kill me if I'm just sitting there shooting sidewinders at it, and if I rodeo, I'll probably get sniped off or something before taking it down. Instead, I decide to go back inside and hunt for pilot kills, because ultimately, those are what matter in this game
Got
type.
him. Oh, fuck. I didn't
Once
know
again,
there's
the first thing I
another
do is get to high ground to avoid enemy Titans. I briefly consider going outside, but it looks like all the fighting is going on in here, so I decide against it. I look out of a doorway and spot the pilot. 3, 2, 1, go. There he is. Slightly off silhouette, prominent jetpack flares. This is getting easier, isn't it? Now that you know what to look for? Seems like he hasn't noticed me yet, which is good, because attacking into a skilled enemy that is expecting you is tantamount to suicide. As I wall run towards him, I hold off my fire to surprise him when I'm right on top of him. With surprise on my side, I nab the kill, even though my first shot failed to insta-give him. It wasn't clean though, and now I'm almost dead and something else is shooting at me. I stim to kickstart my health regen and run behind cover. Now, I suspect the enemy might come after me. I may be able to surprise him by hanging on the wall with a shotgun, but I don't know which way he'll approach, or even if it was an enemy pilot at all, as opposed to an enemy grunt. The safest option is to just keep moving, so I wall run outside over the 2 enemy Titans below. I hop inside the building, just in case they saw me.
They're behind our base.
I see a friendly running away from something, and I turn to look. I see electric smoke. Whether it's friendly or not is not clear. However, I also see the health bar of an enemy Titan, and not only are its shields depleted, it's almost dead. I'm not afraid of retaliation because the smoke will mask my fire, so I shoot my sidewinder into the smoke, not out of any real effort to hurt the enemy Titan, but in order to try and get a lucky hit to stall its shield regen while I
They
reposition.
are that dumb. Amazing.
Bad luck and bad aim means that I allow his shields to get back up by the time I get to high ground. What's scarier is that there are multiple Titans back here, and this building that I've chosen might not be tall enough to avoid Titan fire. In a panic moment, I decide to peace out and cover my retreat with arc grenades. If you need to quickly throw grenades a short distance or have them bounce off a ledge, throw them at the ground so that they don't fly too far. It works out that my arc grenades actually take out the Titan's shields and allow a teammate to finish it off. At the same time, another Titan gets doomed and I watch its pilot eject. Quick, spot the pilot. 3, 2... No. He's right there. He's right there. He's cloaked, but cloaking is far less effective against pilots than it is against Titans. I track him and move in to say hello.
The guy behind you, please. 2.
My Titan's ready to fall again, so I call it down. I yell at my teammate to watch out. I don't know if Titanfall can hurt friendly Titans, but it can definitely push them around. After I get in, the first thing I do, even before the screen loads up, is orient myself to the minimap. Enemy Titan to the right, so I immediately turn and engage. Smoke is dropped, and even though it's just smoke, I know that most pilots have a huge mental block when it comes to running through it. I decide to circle around and cut off this Titan's escape from behind. Faye caught him escaping, and I stay right up in his face as I whittle him down in preparation for an execution.
No clue.
As soon as I see he's doomed, I dash in and execute. But I only get a fistful of scrap metal. No pilot. If you were listening carefully to the sounds moments before, you might have heard this.
No clue or invisible man.
That's the sound of a pilot manually disembarking from his Titan. In this case, I gotta give credit to the enemy. He knew exactly what I was going to do, so he got out before his Titan was doomed. If he was any later, I would have grabbed him and thrown him into the wall like silly putty. Then I hear another unwelcome sound. That's the sound of an enemy pilot rodeoing your Titan. Luckily, my teammate's around, and as soon as I heard the sound, I told them to punch the guy off me. I crouched to help my teammate find my parasite, but as you can see, the guy has already jumped off. I like this bit. Even though I got outplayed, it shows you that this isn't some random pub stomp of a game. Both sides have experienced, quick-thinking pilots who really know their stuff. I see my teammate fighting another Titan, and I pick up where he left off. I try to force the enemy into a corner, but he's slippery. He manages to get my shield down before I do the same to him, probably because he's using the far superior 40mm cannon, and now I'm out of rockets. If I keep fighting, I'll just be taking hits as I reload, so instead I dash behind cover. Since I don't have to control my mech's movement as I dash, I briefly spare some brain power to glance at the minimap. There's a guy. Should be an easy kill. Uh-oh, I let him get too close. Fighting pilots as a Titan requires a fine balance of distance. Stay too far away and they can run to cover before you can chase them down. Stay too close though,
I've rodeoed this guy that's under the bridge.
and you get rodeoed. Now, there's actually a great defense against this, which is the Titan Punch. However, I didn't expect him to turn in midair like that to rodeo me, and now it's too late. I have to recruit someone else to do the punching for me. Strathz, will you do the honors?
Got him. That was really cool.
Thanks. Looking at the Titan count, we are firmly in the lead, so now is the time to divide and conquer.
I'm
double
behind
damage.
you.
As I round the corner, I encounter a gold mine. 3 potential pilots, all unwisely running along the ground. As soon as I see them, I dash forward and punch, all in one smooth motion, but the finicky homing fist scraps the Spectre instead. By the time my fist retracts and my gun readies again, everyone will have scurried to cover. I can't let this opportunity get away, so I trigger my rocket salvo, which comes out immediately and
Only
wipes
one
one guy out. Overkill?
Yeah, it's behind
Yeah,
the base.
but necessary. I see the glow of a jetpack flare off in the distance, but by the time I get there, he's also gone. Pretty much their whole team knows that I'm here now, so I decide to leave before they have a chance to gang up on me.
Just one on C.
An arc grenade follows me out, but I dash away to avoid the Sidewinder follow-up.
Or he's in an ogre, whatever.
I regroup with the rest of my team and we start on the hunt again.
Active camo behind you.
The enemy team must have figured out what's going on though, because we're having a hard time finding them. They're all hiding from our Titans, only coming out to jump kick our teammates not in Titans.
What the fuck? Oh, god damn it. Active camo.
I'm gonna stick with you, Blake.
I'm with you.
This one guy makes a mistake and comes out of hiding, and I gently remind him why that's a bad idea. Then he respawns in that building over there to throw grenades at me, so I gently remind him a second time. I'm blinded now though, so I retreat back inside when suddenly a Titan falls right next to me, chunking me for a fair bit of health and trapping me against the corner in its dome shield. That's just bad luck.
Clever. Saw a Titan this way.
I briefly consider running outside to help fight the Titans, but then I hear,
They have 2 Titans up. 4 Titans up.
and I think it might be better to stay inside. At the same time, I see an enemy infantry back there on the minimap. Something I can kill. He's kinda far away though, across open ground, and so I stim as I turn around to get in range sooner.
I can drop it.
I run outside to see what the hubbub is all about.
Yeah, they have full Titans. We need to be careful.
I hope that killed him.
About this time, I realize that the tables have turned. Now they all have Titans, and we only have one, soon to be none. Now I understand what they were playing at while they were hiding. These guys were all waiting to drop their titans in unison to make a giant, unstoppable mecha ball. Even though they're down a few kills, as long as they stay inside their metal armor shells, we won't be able to score any more points. And if we can't score any more points, then we're going to lose.
I just drove my Titan off the edge while someone was radioing me.
I risk detection by killing all the grunts on the rooftop to speed up my build timer.
Oh, I see an auto Titan.
I see our last Titan fighting and losing, and I try to help with some arc grenades and sidewinder shots. I do good damage, but it's too little too late. I considered trying for more, but you can see how dangerous that would be. Every life matters, and I'm not going to risk mine.
Yeah.
Don't die.
My Titan is ready, but I don't drop it. Not yet. Instead, I tell my team to run back to spawn and try to sync up Titanfalls of our own. It's the only way we're going to win this match.
Where are we all
Come to
meeting
us.
at? I'm with strathz.
I've got about 36
They're just
seconds
sitting in
left.
a spawn
I just
doing
called one
nothing.
down right there.
I make it back and call down my
we're
Titan.
hiding.
I'm
I
close.
don't mind, go fuck it. So
I'm a minute out.
Behind our base?
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
just joined
close.
mine right next to you.
you don't even need to attack though.
We only have 3 right now, but we have the advantage of being in a defensive position.
Caleb.
Our plan is just to wait here until we have our full 6. If they want to stop us, they're going to have to push in. And if they do that, they're going to have to go through one of 2 choke points, the bridge or the underpass. Either way, the effectiveness of numbers breaks down when you're forced through a narrow passageway. The Persians learned that at Thermopylae, and these guys are about to learn it here. The enemy team makes a major mistake. They don't realize what we're doing, and so they start coming over in small groups, 1 or 2 at a time, which we pick apart.
He's returning.
We suffer some losses, but taking out their titans is worth it. When one defender is weakened, I move in to take his place.
One.
Oh, mine's dead. Damage score.
Here I accidentally get a run over kill on the enemy pilot. I think he was trying to land on me to rodeo, but missed.
I took heavy damage.
Literally no shots. This guy in the bridge, solo.
We continue to play defensively, putting our shields at risk, but nothing more. Then they mount a larger push, but again, they funnel in 1 at a time and get destroyed. Then I make a mistake, and I stay in the front longer than is safe.
Taking a shit ton of damage.
Wolfie, back up.
I take down the enemy Titan at the cost of my own. I try to shotgun him as we both eject, but he's barely out of range.
There's one here. I don't know where.
He jumped off.
My teammate dies right next to me, and so I run for cover.
There's a guy there will be below.
I can't see. Found him. Got him.
Titan's got
Another one running around.
One trying to jump.
Now that
got
we've
him.
destroyed some of their Titans, I transition back to a pilot hunting role, occasionally tossing out some arc grenades and sidewinders when I think it's safe. Throwing ordnance doesn't break stealth, and I only fire off sidewinder shots when I'm obscured by the leaves over here.
I lost my Titan.
This guy's the best in the wall. We need to kill him.
I spot a cloaked pilot and kill him,
Oh fuck! There's.
but I almost die myself to a cluster missile. Spotty orange explosions with these black cores in the middle are indicative of cluster missiles, so when you see them, you need to avoid that entire area. I notice my Titan is almost ready again, so I play safe while I wait for those last few seconds.
I'm
We're
calling
getting
one
2
right now.
minutes out.
I hear,
Got an ogre shields out near C.
and it's just too good an opportunity to waste. Killing that Titan brings my counter down to 0, and I call in my Titan one last time.
Dude with a mag somewhere.
I see my teammate fighting an enemy Titan, who drops electric smoke. The thing about E-smoke, though, is that while it does incredible damage per second while you're in it, it actually takes a second or half a second to activate after being deployed. If you see smoke drop, you have a small window where you can dash through and take little to no damage. I do just that to keep the pressure up on this Titan and stop his shields from regenerating. He takes out my shields, so I try to retreat past my teammate.
Bridge. We can kill him.
I just did something very wrong here. Do you know what it is? I turned my back on the enemy when my shields were down. Never do that. When Titans' shields are down, they have glowing red weak spots on their front and back that you can critically hit for massive damage. The weak spot on the back is much bigger than the one on the front, so under no circumstances should you expose it to the enemy. I quickly realized my mistake and turned around. Now that I have a teammate with me, I'm okay with pushing in again. When the enemy focuses me, I just bring up my vortex and step back. My team closes in, creating a Titan sandwich.
One more kill, boys. I did.
Yeah.
Tastes like victory. Good game. We actually ended up playing a few more games with these guys. We won some, we lost some, and they were all close. Much respect. There's really no point in analyzing the epilogue, so just enjoy.
I went even, but I had something like 8 kills very quickly.
I went like 5 and 12 because I can't use this fucking sniper rifle thing. Too bad.
Oh, they're playing super serious, trying to kill my Titan now. You already lost, what are you doing, bro?
Get to the shit, man.
I almost stopped.
And that's it for the first episode of Mindgamer Titanfall. I hope you learned something new, or, failing that, I hope I've kept you entertained for these past 30 minutes. Please subscribe if you like this sort of content, and keep an eye out for more videos in the future. Until next time, class dismissed.
For your safety, please stay in the training pod to regain your equilibrium.